Welcome to CCMAS 425. The topic of discuss today is impact assessment of microbial contamination of soil, air, and water. Um, these are the learning objectives. We talk about what microbial contamination is all about. We describe the fate of microorganisms in the environment. We identify the routes of exposure to microbial contamination. The natural environment is often filled with microorganisms, most of which are natural residents. They colonize various ecological niches. Microorganisms are released into the environment as a result of human activities. Human activity varied, and because they vary, activities may be, in most instances, uh, anthropogenic in nature. Um, as a result of this, microorganisms may be released to degrade noxious or toxic waste. We have so many toxic waste in the environment. One of the major highlights of microorganisms is our ability to produce enzyme system that can degrade this toxic waste into a non-toxic form that can be assimilated into the environment. And so the organism may be released via the method of bioaugmentation. You release a foreign microorganism into the environment in order to assist to degrade noxious or toxic waste. They may also be deliberately released to compete against natural microbiotas. These microbiotas may be phytopathogens that causes diseases in plants or animals. And when you release these microorganisms into the environment, they assist to compete with these natural microbiotas, reducing their population and as a result, reducing the deleterious impact of these phytopathogens on important plants. They may also be released as a result of biological warfare. In biological warfare, microorganisms are released, especially those that are endospore formers, toxin formers. So they are released as a method of biological warfare. And due to sneezing, coughing, and others also, microorganisms can also be released into the environment. So when we talk about microbial contamination, we are looking at the release of microorganisms into the environment, it may be soil or water or air environment, which result in deleterious changes and alter the natural balance of such environment. So let's look at the various routes of exposure to microbial contamination. Look at the air. We breathe in, yeah, and in most cases, some of these air are not pure. They are contaminated. So microbial contaminants are frequently introduced into the air environment. They have the potential of causing human infection. There are many sources of introduced pathogen. It may be through direct human activity, like coughing, like sneezing, may release microorganisms into the environment and into the air. Waste handling of sewage, biosolid, animal manure, all these contain microorganisms that can be released into the environment and that can be suspended in the air. Windblown spores released from soil fungi also can be a source of microbial release into the air. And when we talk about microbial release into the air, we are talking about biological airborne contaminants. They are collectively known as bioaerosols. They may include bacteria, viruses, fungal spores, they are metabolites, airborne toxins, and others. They all constitute what is called bioaerosols. So these bioaerosols, they are launched, and when they are launched, they are transported in the air and then they are deposited. These are the aeromicrobiological pathway, the launching and then the transport and then the deposition. And when these happen, human interception of bioaerosol can result in infection or illness. It may be via ingestion, it may be via inhalation. Ingestion, that this bioaerosol deposited on items that are ingested by human, or through inhalation, breathing, they can get into the human system. In general, the transport and survival of microorganisms in air decrease in the order of spore viruses and bacteria. Spores are impervious to environmental conditions like desiccation, like heat and others, and so they tend to survive more in the air. and then followed by viruses, then followed by bacteria. Aside from all microorganisms, we can also have airborne toxins or metabolites that can be released into the air, which can result in human health problem. Airborne toxins like endotoxin, like mycotoxins, these can cause allergic condition in humans. They can result in some mutagenic and carcinogenic effects like the aflatoxins and others like that. The soil environment, we interact regularly with the soil environment for so many reasons. And as kids, we have a condition where some kids eat soil directly. They are called geophagics, and the condition is called geophagia. In the course of eating soil directly, it's a potential route of transmission of pathogens into the system. Also, aside from eating the soil directly, hand to mouth contact, eating leafy vegetables also can be a source of potential route of transmission of pathogen. Aside from all these two, soil can also now, contained microorganisms can be transferred through the irrigation of such soil with waterborne pathogens that are present in sewage effluent. The sewage effluent in most instances are used as irrigation in some farmland, and they are mostly laden with microorganisms. And this can be a source or route of exposure of people to microbial contamination in soil. Another route is water. Water is everything. Water is life. We drink it, we bathe with it, we wash with it, we cook with it. Because of the multivarious nature of water usage, it is the major route of exposure to microbial contamination worldwide. And so the surface water, the groundwater, they can all be contaminated with human pathogenic microbes, and this can result in debilitating health conditions. The surface water like rivers, like streams, so you have a lot of pollutant that wash into the surface water, from human sewage to manure from livestock operation to birds and other animals that drop their fecal matter onto the surface water to urban runoff. These are various sources, point and non-point sources through which microorganisms get into the water and get the water contaminated. Also, we have the groundwater, which is expected to be pristine because it is deeper down under the soil. But because of the fact that some microorganisms are so tiny, like the enteric viruses, like others, you can have some leak sewer lines that are very deep into the soil, which can leak their content into the groundwater. We have cases of contamination of groundwater as well, which is the major source of water for people, because that is whoever is digging the borehole, whoever is digging a well, they are all targeting the groundwater. And when the groundwater is contaminated, then that constitutes a major problem, because that's a major source of water for a whole lot of people. So all these are various routes of exposure to microbial contamination. So these various routes of exposure uh, exposes humans to different kind of infection and diseases through their interaction with microorganisms, and it also fosters the environmental disease cycle, which is a cycle from human to environment back to human. So from human, it may be the fecal matter, it may be any other thing from human, so getting into the environment, and then from the environment to maybe water or soil or air, human also get infected or get involved with this microbial contaminant. So it is always imperative as a measure of public health that these routes are properly taken care of. The soil, the water, and the air is properly taken care of in order to ensure that there is a reduce or decrease in the microbial load that get into this environment, especially the pathogenic ones, so that our health can be assured, our safety can be assured, and public health can be secured. Thank you very much for listening.